What's going on, guys? Sawyer here, back out here under the trees talking about the Lord after a long sick break. It's January 21st. Yesterday was the 20th, and as you guys may know, January 20th is a special day for many Americans because, oh yeah, you could hear the BART train coming from behind. But January 20th is a special day for most Americans because, number one, we celebrate one of the most influential civil rights leaders in American history, who's also a devoted brother in Christ, and that's Martin Luther King Jr. And it also was a special day because the second coming of Donald Trump walked into office. It's beautiful. I mean, is he perfect? No, but we can have hope for a future where our people and our businesses alike won't be stifled by inflation and taxes. We can also have hope for a future where we might have safe borders. I could yap on and on about politics, but to not stray too far away from this video's topic, today I'm going to be talking about how the Christian walk is not for the weak. It's really not for a weak, undisciplined, aimless man. Now, what really sparked me to make this video is that in a recent video I stated that I was getting back into it at the gym and back into it with this channel. I recorded that video last Saturday looking forward to what would have been a week with free full videos, free shorts, and 4 to 5 gym workouts. And I was also looking forward to a productive week at school and my side passions. 2 days later, I got the flu. And this flu was bad. I got a 103 fever, I could barely get out of bed, I had body aches in the back and kidney, my cough had me choking up. I wouldn't say that it's the sickest I've ever been, but, yeah, it was bad. As you may have expected, I was kept out of the gym for basically the entire week. From Tuesday on, I missed school, and I was only able to release one video last week. It was a wash. It just goes to show you that in this walk with Christ, something is always going to come up. Satan's always going to be attacking you in some sort of way, and you got to overcome it. You know, and here's an example. Maybe you're coding some sort of a website that's a part of a business, and things are running smoothly with developing the web page. Then you run into a part of the code that's difficult to overcome, such as PHP and developing a database, and because you can't develop that database, your website never gets released. I was actually going to develop a blog to start writing Christian articles on instead of starting this YouTube channel, but I couldn't figure out how to code PHP on my own, so the blog known as Sawyer's Testament was scrapped, and instead it became this YouTube channel. And coding is the example here, but it could really be applied to anything in life. Everything feels great. It seems like God is giving you momentum in life. You know, you're moving forward, and then boom, Satan knocks you down across your face like you're Willis McGee. It always seems like in this walk with Christ, there's always something that has to come up. There's always something that stands in the way between you and God's ideal version of yourself. And sometimes that obstacle could be self-inflicted, like typical bad habits people struggle with, such as junk food and porn. Sometimes that obstacle is going to be out of your control. And you notice that the further you walk with Christ, the more likely that that obstacle in your life that's in your way is probably going to come up out of your control. Let's take a step back here and let's look at the beginning of the Christian walk, when you first come to God. You know, this is a time where most of the obstacles in your life are your own creation. You have your old ungodly friends, you have your old degenerate habits, you have your old worldly career. Inevitably, if you submit to God, you're going to lose all of these things. For Mark 8:34 states that whoever takes up their cross and follows Jesus denies themselves to follow him. And to really deny yourself in the Bible, to deny yourself means to disown. And God is calling you to disown the vital parts of your old self so he can help create the new you within. So the Christian who's going to have it hardest is likely actually going to be the new Christian. You're losing everything from your old friends, to your old job, to your old hobbies. And yet through witnessing everything in your life break down, you're still willing to move forward with God. That's commendable, and I applaud you for that. But after you go through that initial first 6 months of pains in this walk with Christ, you're going to see that everything in your life is new. You have new habits, you have new hobbies, and you have a new purpose in Christ. It is within this new that you're also going to see new struggles, you know, new levels, new devils. And it's likely that in this new level, you're going to have to deal with more devils that are out of your control. Sickness is one thing that's out of your control. Another thing that's out of your control is not being able to finish a project because you lacked a certain skill that you didn't foresee that you would need beforehand. That's something that you can't predict. If you're speaking about religion in public to a camera of people coming over to harass you is also out of your control. What I'm trying to show you guys is that there's always going to be some new obstacle standing in your way in this walk with Christ. At first, the roadblocks will be aspects of yourself that are negative and toxic, but as you begin to really grow and mature as a Christian man, those obstacles are going to become outside forces. The result of all of this is that in the first few years of your journey with God, things in all aspects of your life will never completely be in sync. There's always going to be an aspect of you that's lacking. And there's always going to be something new that stands in the way between you and you fulfilling your purpose with God. It isn't until year 3 that you're going to start seeing things with God click on a physical, mental, financial, and spiritual level. That's all it leads. But until then, in years 1 and 2, it's going to be constant setbacks, constant obstacles. You will see growth, but that growth's always going to come with caveats. So how do we deal with obstacles and setbacks as a Christian man? Well, the solution is simply to man up. If what you're struggling with is a cold and a bad cough, then push through it. If you got the flu, then it sucks, but you're just going to have to wait it out on the sick bed until you improve. If you've run into issues with a business project, like you need to figure out a new skill to fully finish it, then you need to go through the process of learning that new skill that can get that project finished, whatever that new skill may be. Real God-fearing men who could be trusted, they first identify their issues, then they find God to figure out the solution to their issues, and then they use the adjustments and the strength they get from God to triumph over their issues. In short, Christian men who are blessed, they man up and they figure it out. They figure out the solutions to get past obstacles that either they themselves created or obstacles that might have come up out of their control. So boys, let's become men and let's man up. Thank you guys for watching. I'm so glad to be out here talking about the Lord with you guys today. All glory to Him for healing me from that sickness and giving me the time to fully recover so I could be back out here at full strength. But things like sickness do happen, and I hope you guys learned in this video that these times are completely normal. And I also hope that you guys understand that it is first through God's wisdom, but then it is through your manly ability to really take control of things that issues in your life will be solved. Stay safe, stay healthy, and most importantly, stay faithful.